the difference between compiler, interpreter, and the assembler. So let's move towards the today's topics. The main difference between compiler, interpreter, and assembler is that the compiler converts the whole high language code and whole high language program into the machine language at a time, while interpreter converts the high level language program to the machine level language line by line, and the assembler converts the assembly language program to the machine level language. So that's all the difference between how assembler, interpreter, and compiler converts the program in which language. A computer program is a set of instructions for the computer having to perform any type of certain tasks. Most programs are written in the high level languages, or in assembly languages. High level language are also called as assembly language. These programs are easy to read and understand by the programmers, but not understandable by a computer, because the computer only understands the machine language, because the computer is a machine. The machine language consists of a binary, which is ones and zeros. The machine understands only 1 and zeros. If 1 is true and 0 is false. Therefore, the high level languages or assembly programs should into the machine language for the computer to understand the instructions. Compiler, interpreter, and assembler are translators, and that converts the high level or assembly language based programs, and that the assembly language based programs are converted to the machine languages. So we are going to see what is a compiler. A compiler is a language translator that converts the high level programs into the machine understandable machine codes, and in this process the compiler converts the whole program into the machine code, and at a time if there are any syntactic or any kind of semantic error, then the compiler will indicate them, and it checks the whole program again and displays the error. And when the program having the too many errors, and it displays the all errors whatever they having. It is not possible to execute the whole program without fixing those errors, because the programming languages are such as C and C++ are Java are uses a compiler. For C and C++ they are only using the compiler for their language conversion. The execution time is lower in these languages. Therefore, they are considered as the fast languages. So we are going to see what is interpreter. An interpreter is an interpreter is a language translator that converts the high level programs into the machine codes. Unlike compilers, like that, the interpreters are convert the source code into the machine code line by line, and also it checks the all lines, and then the scanning time is lower, but the overall execution time is too high. Interpreter displays an error at time, and the programmer should fix that error, whatever the program having error, the programmer should fix that error to interpreter. The next line, The programming languages such as the Python, Ruby, PHP, Perl, whatever they are having are some examples of interpreter-based languages. So today we are going to our next topic, that is what is the assembler. So let's see what is assembler. In addition to high level languages and machine level languages, there is another language called as assembly languages. Assembly languages in between the high level languages and the machine level languages, because it is closer to machine languages and then the high level languages, and it's also called as low level language. The language is not easily readable and the understandable. They are called as this type of languages is not easily readable and understandable by programmer, like a high level programming language. The assembler works as the translator. It converts the assembly languages and the assembly languages program to the machine code. So now I am going to tell you the difference between the compiler, assembler, and interpreter. It one by one. So let's see the difference, the definition of assembler and the definition of compiler. A compiler is a software that converts the program written in high level languages into the machine languages, and the definition of interpreter is a software that translates the high level language program into the machine languages. While